Good morning. It is Phoenix Amore. So, what you see happening is no different than what I expressed before, where I talked about people being put on certain paths, being created to do certain things, right? So, what's interesting is I always talked about pure intentions. Now, there's a couple of themes I'm going to talk about here. Now, when I say themes, I need for people to be aware that I'm not affiliated with any movie or anything like that. Okay, I need to make that very abundantly clear. And you'll understand more and more why that's so important, because we had enough people trying to knock religion as if it's not real and all that. So the last thing that people needed was for somebody to turn people into characters when they really have spiritual gifts and all that kind of stuff. That's why I've been so adamant and pushing back, like just stop it. So this is one of the things that I want to speak on. Long time ago when I addressed the whole thing about a demon eating this woman's face, right? And I talked about that as being an addiction. So you had some people be honest about having addictions to plastic surgery and all that, that need that search for perfection, right? And so the thing that I expressed a long time ago is the way that people alter, right, their physical appearance, okay? So understand, imagine when they say things like God is a jealous God. God created people, right? And so all your genetics and all these things, right, they are meant to be there for a reason. So with me being, African American, well, 3 cultures, as I always tell people, right, there's certain traits that I have physically that are, more related to each culture, right? So this is where I challenge some people to say, stop saying silly stuff like, oh, black women are always thick and big butts and all that. That's not true. You start creating stigma in each culture, right? That's an issue. So what I wanted to show people, right, is this is my natural physique. Let me break down what I mean by natural. Natural basically means, right, with me eating well, right, I'm not so strict that I limit myself to what I call rabbit food. I make little jokes like that because some people get crazy with it, right? So I think what happened and what happens is people, when I say prophetess or, Baha'i faith even, they were all in this whole Islamic or Muslim and, oh, she shouldn't be eating this and that. But what I said was prophetess. There's prophetess in the Bible, Quran. Guess what? Gifts of discernment, gifts of the spirit. Maybe we should call this something different so people don't feel the need to shove it, in one area. I broke it down with this whole Baha'i thing because I said somebody would look at that and assume, well, because it was founded in Iran, it must be Islamic. And I'm like, no, actually, it's basically naming different messengers in there, including Jesus, Muhammad, right, Buddha. So it's basically somebody saying, hey, you know what? All these different aspects to religion, right? Buddhism, Christianity, it encompasses all of that and saying there's one God, right? So that is somebody that was intelligent enough to say, okay, yeah, we could keep fighting because, again, if people remember, a lot of the things that would happen in Islam is people fighting about which prophet is supposedly this and that. So somebody who established Baha'i faith looked and said, what are we fighting about here? So this is where I need to break it down to people. Getting back to what I see and how it manifests, right? The demon eating the woman's face clearly was not satisfied with who she was as a person. So then you have this person, right? It manifests as a demon because it's an addiction for that person. Let me give you guys a prime example. When you saw me start coming out with the pictures, right? I wasn't photoshopping and doing all that, right? Some people took such offense. It's so crazy to me. I'm like, listen, I'm spiritually gifted and I'm trying to share with people basically the ways that you can continue to grow your gifts. That includes accepting yourself physically. Believe it or not, it's real. So here, again, I like to show people and the girls the little flaws I have, right? This, I showed y'all that before, being pregnant. That's a hereditary thing. We have this extra gland here that grows, and it is what it is, right? So the thing that started to happen with some of the girls, and this is where even with some black women, they could feel me on it. At some point, somebody said, she's not lying. When some people like skinny bees, and she know I love her to death because I said it. But I was like, hey, that caused some stigmas for some skinny bees, for a little bit. So people could start feeling me a little bit on that, where they're like, okay, just say you love yourself for who you are. But I started talking about health. My natural size, eating healthy. I'm not bulked up. Understand something. What I mean by that is if I was going to be competing, I showed you guys already how fast I can build, right? That's just to show, again, when your body is used to putting on muscle or however you want to say it, it can come back on just like that. But this is my natural size. Now, part of the reason, just to be real with people, that I like this size, y'all forgot I still had neck and back injuries and all that kind of stuff. So aside from everything, when people are like, oh, she into fitness too much, or she into this, it makes me feel good, okay? My back is still a little jacked up from the wreck. Now, when I say a little, that's that normal pain you're going to have when you got hit in the back. I had whiplash and all that. So some of me keeping my natural size, right, is about feeling good, period. Now, normally, if I was eating crap, I'd be about probably 6 or 7. I'm not even saying that's big. I'm just strictly speaking on physiques. This is my natural size. So for all the girls that got mixed up and all that kind of stuff, and people that came for me on some, well, she wasn't skinny, light skin, she can't relate. Y'all missed the whole point. So you guys have a blessed day. You know I'm going to keep putting my videos out. Take care.